I think I added this correct, but we would be, if that were resolved favorably, we would be under the cap by $739,000. Now, if the council cut its budget a bit to meet some of the budget committee recommendations, that number would go up. And the only reason this exercise that I did was just to show the importance of having that issue settled. Because having that kind of flexibility would help in the overall scheme of things. So I'll shut up. That's all I want to say.
Council 11, reconsideration of the vote on the Colby case.
It's a step process. The way we closed at our regular meeting was, in essence, saying, let's not put together a process to ask for the cap to be exceeded, and it was by a court case, which was the Colby case, letting it go to court.
Can I just issue a point of order? The motion at the last meeting was to table the issue. I think the only way we can take it off the table is by majority vote. But I would defer to the solicitor on that.
Well, I would have no problem asking for a vote because I am not sure, because it's a special meeting, I want approval of the council. So I think one way or the other, either to remove it from the table or to consider it at a special meeting, we need a vote of the council. So however we get there, there needs to be a permission of the entire council. So I'm perfectly comfortable. If it's more correct to remove it from the table, then that's what we should do.
I think so, and I think that's what you put on the agenda, the request for reconsideration. So you're asking that you want to reconsider it, you want to remove the matter from the table, and you voted on the prevailing side to table it last time.
I did.
And then, so you've made your motion. If there's a second, there would be discussion on that motion, which would be when you'd have your chance to describe why you're making the motion.
Although I think a motion to table is different than a reconsideration. It might be a different case. I think that motion has to be to take it off the table.
I think it does.
And it's not debatable. A motion to take off the table.
Gee, and I left my Roberts rules at home tonight.
Look it up on your list.
I do.
Well, we have a motion and we don't have a second to this point, so.
So it may be moved.
Right, the point may be moved unless someone is going to.
I made a motion, but there is no second.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, now it's open for discussion.
Would you wait 1 second while
That's what I'm
while I
okay.
check the question whether it is in fact debatable or not? Okay?
Yes.
Could you just repeat the motion? I don't recall a motion really being made. You began with a discussion.
My motion was to reconsider. The question is whether it's a reconsideration or removal.
It's a motion to bring it back to the table, basically what it is. See, I got it.
First time we could sing a song, so maybe we should get out our rosary or something, do something. Take up a collection.
Collection may be broken.
Don't hear our religious activity.
Well, it doesn't say whether it's debatable or not. Okay. Well, we've got the town administrator's shorter version of the rules, which actually have a nice cite to the larger version. Briefer version, in brief, Robert's Rules of Order newly revised. And the fact is, the council has adopted the full 10th edition as your rules, which, as I said, unfortunately I don't have here. Maybe we'll try to leave it, donate one to the town, so it'll always be here. In any case, if it is desired to resume consideration of a main motion which lies on the table, it can be proposed by means of a motion to take from the table, that the motion or series becomes pending again. And it doesn't say whether this is debatable or not, so I'm going to, at this point, say that it would be debatable, since there's nothing here that says it's not debatable, and that would be the normal course. I may be incorrect upon checking the things, but at this point, I would say it's debatable.
Okay, we have a motion and a second discussion.
The reason I think that we should do this is actually the discussion tonight has added weight to my consideration, because it looks like we may indeed need to figure out how we would request exceeding the cap. So we need to come up with a process, I think. And the first step would be to take it off the table. Then once we do that, we could re-look at the resolution, which I have modified a little bit. I took mostly Mr. Lambert's, a little bit from Mr. Tice, and put together a process. And if we could do that, then I would have met my objective. And since unfortunately, since all the information we've heard tonight makes it look like indeed we may have to ask for a waiver of the cap, then I think there's added weight to putting together a process that's clear and understood. So that's my thinking. And I think to save everybody's time and patience, I would go one step further. I don't know whether I can do this or not, but I'll do it. I'll just call for a vote, because I think everybody's had ample opportunity to talk about it and think about it. We all know where we're at, and I don't think that we need to spend a lot of time.
Okay, but you do have to have two votes. You've got one vote, which is to take it up from the table, and then you would have a second vote as to whether this resolution would be approved or not.
So my call for the vote would be on first.
To take it off the table.
That's right.
We have a motion and a second to remove from the table, place back on the table, the item in question. All those in favor? Opposed? Moving on to our executive session.